The 2000 Nissan Frontier is just enough 90s to remind you why you started hating Wonderwall and Jagged Little Pill. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing. In 1997, Nissan completely redesigned the aging D21 hard-body truck platform, resulting in the D22 Frontier that featured sleeker lines, an updated interior, and more plastic for the new millennium. The first 2 years of production, you could only buy a Frontier with a 4-cylinder KA24DE engine. But by the time 1999 rolled around, you had the option of a 3.3-liter VG33E single overhead cam V6, which this truck has, coupled to a 5-speed automatic transmission. The VG33E makes around 170 horsepower and 200 foot-pounds of torque, which is about all you need in a truck like this. It's not slow. It will haul things for when your friends ask the inevitable, "Hey, can I borrow your truck to help my mom, sister, significant cousin move something?" But at the same time, it doesn't have enough power to make you worry they'll do something stupid. That being said, the VG33E is a peppy engine, and it has no problem revving up to $6,000 if you ask it to. And with 200 foot-pounds of torque, you can get off the line surprisingly quick. You really have to ease into the gas when the roads are wet, or you're gonna spin the tires at a stoplight. But that has more to do with the lack of weight on the rear wheels. This Frontier has the XE 4x4 package, which gets you bigger tires, a higher ride height, 4-wheel drive that is not push-button, and plastic fender skirts. So how does it drive? The brakes stop, the suspension absorbs bumps, and the steering feels like you're stirring a pot of oatmeal with your bare hands. In other words, it drives the same as any other small truck of that generation. Big surprise. Also, when your friends do ask to borrow your truck, and they will, just ask anyone that's ever owned a pickup, make sure they pay for gas because this thing gets terrible gas mileage for a small truck. The owner says he averages 13 to 14 miles per gallon, 15 if it's nice weather and he big toes to gas all the time. 2000 Nissan Frontier V6, because 13 miles per gallon shouldn't be limited to big trucks and muscle cars. Used trucks are the sloppy seconds of the car world.
My taillights don't match because I backed into a tree.
Hey, nice factory rim. Oh man, what the hell? The hubcaps don't match either? Why would you? Anyway. Interior. Very typical for a late 90s, early 2000s car. Gray plastic dash, gray cloth seats, and black instrument cluster. The owner put in an aftermarket stereo and speakers because high school. But you still have the manual locks and forearm evening crank windows. Ashtray. This truck is also a crew cab, meaning it gets 4 full doors. This was offered for the 2000 model year, making the Frontier the first small truck to do so, which is probably what made it so popular in 2000 when Nissan sold over 108,000 units. Numbers Nissan's D-Series trucks hadn't seen before and haven't seen since. Although, let's face it, yes, it is a crew cab, but the Frontier is still a small truck. The rear seats are really only good for kids. And getting it on with your high school girlfriend in the parking lot of Bed Bath & Beyond. The D22 Frontier is a truck for the closet countryman. You know, the guy that lives in the suburbs but helps his uncle out on the farm every weekend. And yeah, he wears boots to class sometimes, but he isn't bragging about being country like the guys driving Silverados lifted higher than Kim Kardashian's self-esteem. The Nissan Frontier is like that teacher in high school that everyone likes because he doesn't try to act hip and be your friend. This is a truck that you respect because it doesn't go out of its way to try and earn it. You respect it because you don't need a reason. And it's largely because it isn't trying to be anything other than a good, small truck. It isn't aggressive. It isn't sporty. It's not trying to be a big truck. The Nissan Frontier is a small truck. It's okay with that. And you should be too. A big problem with today's me-centric, Facebook-bragging, self-congratulatory society is that the majority of people don't put passion into what they do. It's staggering how little intrinsic motivation we really have. Everything gets posted online for fake internet points. Whatever happened to the enjoyment of the work itself, and the feeling of satisfaction afterwards? When your only intention is getting likes and shares more useless than the mark in 1930s Germany, you lose the sense of self-gratification. And the Nissan Frontier, it's calling you. It's telling you, take pride in the work you do. Don't flaunt it. Just do it for you. You don't need anyone's approval or pats on the back other than your own. It's like how my dad would mow the lawn every Sunday afternoon when I was a kid. He'd spend 2 hours pushing an old Craftsman mower around, and then another hour expertly trimming and edging with the precision of a surgeon. And when the job was done, he'd grab a lawn chair on a lost lake and just sit in the yard and relax, admiring his own work. The 2000 Nissan Frontier is just enough 90s to remind you why you started hating Wonderwall and Jagged Little Pill.